Hello, everyone. I'm Randall Frag, and I've been kicked out of multiple restaurants in Juneau, Alaska.
I'm Adam,
Oh,
and I'm one of quite a few people that are at least moderately buzzed to fucking drunk right now. It's glorious.
I'm Alabaster the Unicorn, and well, I'm here, and well, what else is there?
How you doing? I'm big Samuel Adams Summerale edition. How you doing, y'all?
When Biggie found out what we were covering instead of his orc game, he needed preparations.
I kind of feel bad because like this is my first beer. I mean, I've drunk another. I used to drink in style. God damn it! I used to drink fucking gas station wine.
You never get $2 Chuck, you fucking savage.
You
I'll
are
have you know it was like $6 barefoot wine. That stuff is good. You got the
yeah, that
logo.
stuff is decent.
For
Biggie.
what it is.
You're a mongoloid, Biggie. That's all I'm gonna say.
He
Oh,
did
really?
not at
What do
least
you
drink Thunderbird. At least he didn't do that.
what do you drink, Hillbilly? I know for a fact you have like moonshine. You Kentucky asshole.
Moon, moonshine. I've not, unfortunately, not had moonshine yet, and I do love my bourbon.
You know what? Fuck it. Let's talk about this Crow reject
Yeah, that's
from
a
the
good
first Crow
idea.
movie. As we were discussing this, our good friend Randall looked it up, and apparently they made like 4 Crow movies already.
That's 2 more than I
Yeah.
honestly thought they did.
Apparently the fourth one was only shown in Seattle for like a weekend before it got taken off, and it got beaten out by Joe Dirt.
That's not too shocking.
Are you kidding me? Did it actually get beaten out by JoJo?
You know what? Let's just go with it. All right, Joe Dirt was a quality movie, and it made me feel dead, and that's how I wish I felt right now. So is that supposed to be like the Grim Reaper, or the move that bitch is supposed to be?
um, I'm not sure. It's like no, it's a giant in the background. Like one of the Wraeththu mutated because they drank, water from a nuclear reactor, and now they're giant.
So what
And
you're saying is one of the other fetishes too of the author is macro
or
fetishism. Oh boy.
I was
apparently,
I was thinking more that what's that weird movie where instead of it being werewolves, they're cat people? They're
Uh, uh,
werecats.
are you perhaps thinking of Cats Don't Dance?
I might be
no.
at this point. I don't know anymore.
Isn't that Cats the musical?
Did you know they're
Did that have
making a
weird cat
movie?
in it?
That's a
just,
music
just, just
verifies.
insert the trailer right here, Adam. Let them know. Don't just spoiler alerts, dude. It doesn't the end of the movie they all go to like the fucking pound and get like gassed. I could be wrong.
And
Yeah.
yes,
I've never
viewers,
seen it.
I did put horror movie music in that little trailer snippet because that's what I felt when I saw it.
Well,
I felt a portion of my soul trying to escape from my body. That's how bad it was.
all right.
Speaking of suicide via pain, let's actually get into the book.
Yep.
I
Everybody say goodbye to one moob twink up there.
Oh shit, I didn't even notice
bye.
that. Bye. Megalithica and beyond, the world of Wraeththu. So in the
Is
vast country,
Megalithica is Megalithica supposed to be like old timey speak for like America or some shit like that?
first, I have no idea why they call it Megalithica because if you break it down into its fancy Latin terms, it just means fuck off rock.
Are you
Mega meaning
shitting me?
big, Lithica meaning rock.
I don't know. Fuck off rock sounds like a pretty good name for a country.
So in the vast country of the United States and across the sea in the UK and Saudi Arabia, I think.
No, it's the
Arma.
Balkans. Apparently, there's a book.
I know they're trying to be like, oh, hey, this is like thousands of years after the bombs go off. People don't know things. This is just pissing me off. You would think there'd be like a sign that says, "Welcome to San Francisco, you dumbass."
Wait,
Oh
so does
no,
that mean that
it's
kebab was not removed from the Balkans then?
Oh my
um.
god.
No, the Ottomans called. They wanted Greece back.
Honestly, I think the Turk roaches would be the ones that would survive the apocalypse the most. I mean, they already have the word roach in their names.
That's a funny joke.
I am racistly dangerous and dangerously racist tonight.
Stop stop being stop being Ottoman Empire phobic. They're gonna rise again. Just you watch.
Take Vienna this time.
Wraeththu society is forming and expanding at an incredible rate. Hara are
Like
already
cockroaches.
Given their biology, that's not too shocking. Hara are already forming towns and cities of their own after stealing it from humans, and taking over from where human society left off. Translation, we're stealing everything from our ancestors. Will Wraeththu make the same mistakes as humankind once did, or will they reach their true potential? Short answer, no. Long answer, lol, no.
What? No. They'll reach their full potential. They'll finally learn how to install in themselves colostomy bags. That way, they're not pissing and shitting all over the place.
They're gonna
Okay,
get their groove back.
their true potential is being exterminatus by the Inquisition, and you know it.
I said it
Yeah.
before and I'll say it again. These things strike me as like, after like during the Age of Strife, when like fucking Terra with nukes and there was like roving tech barbarians. This honest to God looks like mutants that would be on Earth before the Emperor came and killed them all.
I could see them being techno-barbarians.
In this section, you'll learn about Wraeththu society and the divisions that already exist within it. So much for superior future, Bob.
So much for
You'll
being better than humans by not dividing themselves into clans and shit.
You'll hear about rumors about the rest of the world and real tales about various tribe leaders and other horror of legend. How, if they're only 30 years old, how do you have legends built around them?
So my question is this: where do you think they're going to steal inspiration from? Celtiboo myths, Norse bullshit, or from White Wolf itself?
Celtiboo, because Celtiboo is remember, Celtiboo was all the rage in the 70s, which this book was dredged up from.
If I do make my prediction myself, I think we're going to see an unholy combination of Celtibooism, jacking it from White Wolf with some like biblical shit, and I think a healthy dash of I think anime was popular back then, so I'm going to say something anime.
You're kind of cheating because you're using more than one reference, but you're probably the most right.
Okay. You'll also discover behind the theories and stories behind the creation and diversity of the Wraeththu kind. What diversity? I thought they were all the same murder psychos.
Oh no, some of them are purple for some reason. No one knows why. They just are.
They
Some
drink,
of them are gypsies.
no. What happened was they drank antifreeze, or they drank windshield wiper fluid and had gone through their body and turned them blue,
And
turned them.
Don't forget too that one of them has one tit for some reason.
You'll find all you need to know about whorish culture and society. Difference between the tribes of hoops and peas that wear and which areas you should probably avoid and which you could make a point of visiting.
Hint,
Much like
all of it. You want to avoid all of it because it'll smell like the worst parts of San Francisco.
Oh no.
Biggie, how about you read about the apocalypse that occurred like 10 years ago?
The first signs, is that it?
Yep.
All right. Thinking back, the signs were obvious. We should have been more aware of the fate that awaited us, but we were preoccupied with with other troubles. New diseases appeared out of nowhere to wipe out thousands, like AIDS. Fertility levels dropped for no explicable reason. And
What?
war started somewhere nearly every day. We never thought to look beyond what was happening on the news channels and out of our own windows. We were all so blind. Who could have thought that lurking beyond the devastation and destruction, a new race was waiting to be born, waiting to take over?
Honestly,
I was
yeah, this does. It does sound like commentary from the actual writer.
I was very young when it started. The first thing I remember when I began to realize how wrong things were getting with the world was when a new virus appeared and started to affect populations of several cities. Initially, it was almost undetectable, but it spread unbelievably quick. Victims become facts, and 3/4 of those infected died.
Did this
No one
asshole
ever.
just rip off The Stand?
I think he might
The,
have.
It sounds an awful lot like Captain Trips, just a lot nicer.
And less awesome.
No one ever figured out how it was spreaded. It caused widespread panic. Whole cities were put under quarantine. No one was allowed to visit or leave them! Exclamation point. Public transportation ground to a halt, and all flights were canceled in an attempt to curb the spread of the disease of
So that's why
AIDS.
Madagascar's fine.
And yet, as quickly as the virus took hold, a few months later, it had simply vanished.
Okay.
AIDS of another kind was also plaguing the world. Computers would become infected almost daily with new worms and Trojans. The, the,
What the
the, the
fuck?
hacker known as 4chan.
No,
fuck
the
are you
Wraeththu
talking
were behind 4chan.
I can
Even those
believe that
about?
a
locked,
bunch of rat people were responsible for this.
even those locked away on the secure networks nobody could trace were coming from or even attempt to break the code in which they were programmed. They turned on a incognito mode on their browser to avoid detection.
The
The
hilarious
internet
thing
is
about all of this is every day viruses, new worms, and Trojans are always invented. They're invented like every fucking day.
Yeah, I
So-
know. Like they're attacking the secret servers. They're attacking. This is an attack launched by the secret gamer food servers. Al Gamer Food.
I'm just envisioning it's just bored CIA agents accidentally looking up on Tinder and getting infected by ad spam.
So what you're saying is they fell for the oldest trick in the book.
The U.S. Army
Online.
lost a fucking supercomputer virus because one of their dickhead techs chose to use it to look up some bullshit on the internet. So yes, I can believe that a secure network would get destroyed by some asshole in the Ukraine.
No, you don't realize it. This was the Wraeththu all along. They were going around in computer stores and hacking everything.
The internet as a whole slowly crumbled beneath the weight of malicious computer code. Cities, indeed whole countries, would fall offline every day. The antivirus organizations' big apathy and their policing networks could do nothing but to sit back and watch.
I guess they're all installed with Norton.
So like, literally, the internet gets off and everybody riots because they can't get any porn.
What is this taking place in Egypt?
Oh my god! So I don't know. I mean, couldn't you just make I mean, you can't destroy the internet, can you? I mean, you can destroy websites, but
If
I
you
think the internet
destroy enough servers, you can fuck up the internet. You'd have to
no,
be
but
very fucking thorough though, because there's a shit ton of servers.
yeah,
So
but like I said, they turned on incognito mode. They couldn't get it.
They hacked everything by touching it.
It was
they
announced
were
that
using
fertility rates.
Tor.
It was
We're on
announced
the
that
dark
fertility
web.
rates had dropped at an all-time low, which was blamed on nuclear fallout and a mysterious substance found in the water supply to turn frogs gay. However,
Oh
the
no.
countries concerned were too busy blaming each other to investigate what they had found.
The truth
So,
was, Alex Jones was using the sewer as bathwater, and well, Alex Jones's stench does a lot of things to the human reproductive system.
how do you guys think he got so jacked in my setting? He was radioactive. Superpower. He was the Hulk.
Bit about how it's just nuclear fallout. What the
Can I just
fuck?
Can I just say? I mean, listen. I know governments in the world are inept and all, but I think if this shit's happening, I really don't think they would go to war and they would try to put their heads together. You know, I mean, I can
Yeah.
imagine Saudi Arabia, but fuck Saudi Arabia. What the fuck are they gonna do?
I mean, there's a reason why we occasionally band together in spite of our tendency to want to murder each other. Also, random
You know,
bouts of nuclear fallout, like, what's going on?
well,
Are they
like
just
I think
nuking
that's
each other, or are they just saying fuck it and letting the power plants just
I
explode?
think I think the former is implied because they're saying, oh, they're going to war every day. I think whoever wrote this is literally, my name is not important. like levels of humanity fucking sucks. I honestly gotta think this was written by an introvert that was an
Well,
outcast from society that thinks, no, the world's gonna end one of these days. Nobody, like this is a motherfucker that goes like the mall topic, the mall hot topic,
I was
because
gonna say
he
that
hates humans.
he sounds like, honestly, reading this, if you told me to guess the age of the person that wrote this, I would tell you up front they were 15 years old.
Yeah.
Even though I know this is like a 30-year-old man. And that's embarrassing.
All right. The fertility rates dropped. They were concerned, blaming each other. Power stations were overloaded one day. Egypt drained the next.
My question is, if power stations were unloaded, power stations have something to do with. They can kind of drop power just to make sure that stations aren't going to get overloaded. There's backups and there's a lot of redundant systems to help prevent shit.
Magic did it.
Also, it
What if
might
Mother
they
be in
were
Earth did it.
Venezuela. Venezuela only had the one central station, remember?
Well, unless you're an inept country ran by a mentally retarded bus driver, I think most countries are going to have the ability to handle this.
And what also too, like, what if like you own like a nuclear power plant, like a solar plant? It just doesn't stop. That's not how matter or energy works, you motherfucker.
It
It will
does
still
now.
produce energy.
It does now. Because magic. Magic!
Listen, I stopped being a chemical engineer, but god damn it, matter cannot be created nor destroyed. It just doesn't disappear, you retard.
It does. It does if you have magic. It does if you have a lot of bags of holding. It eventually disappears.
But you know what? I hope like, oh fuck my beer.
We've
Oh, thank God it was
we've
just
gained our first casualty.
no,
Some Sam
no.
Adams.
It was just my Coors Light Extra beer shaped bottle opener. Thank God. Okay. So
That's how we got the stuff in chat for.
Ours, don't worry. It's okay. When the water supplies got infected with chemicals that turned the frogs gay, people started to hoard bottled water. Fights would break out in supermarkets over items like bread and toilet tissue. We were faced with the eerie sight of roadblocks with dead cars once the pumps at the gas stations had run dry.
Venezuela?
Adam,
This is the
you said it
timeline
before.
where Venezuela takes over the world and everything burns because of Maduro's incompetence.
I mean, it's just like this happens. Okay, what else happens? Is there an increase in pedophile? The governments were all too preoccupied with their ongoing wars to concentrate on what was happening at home.
Yeah.
Literally. Oh shit! Why is Chicago on fire?
Adam, as a history boo yourself, can you tell me how many wars were lost because of internal problems within their own country?
A fuckload of them.
Also, the fact is that if nothing else, even if a country was exceptional enough to keep a war with that, the amount of riots at home would probably just call them to call home, just because it's like, yeah, we need the military to clamp this shit down quick.
To give you an idea, one of the best examples I can give you, and one of the earliest examples, was the aftermath of the Battle of Raphia, which was a fight between the Ptolemaic dynasty and the Seleucids. They actually had to recruit native Egyptian troops to to back up their army because, again, they were in Egypt. Greeks were at a premium, and the ruling class were Greeks. After realizing that they could actually fight against the best of another successor state, they led a massive fucking riot because the native Egyptians hated their Greek overlords.
Oh my god!
And that's how that particular war ended, because the Ptolemies needed to basically peace out to put down the rebellion.
Conflicts against unidentified enemies and international terrorism were started every month. Large groups of people would be found and destroyed with little evidence to support their criminal activities. Government funds were channeled into defensive and armed forces, taking precedence over solutions for the ever-growing power crisis in polluted waters and the killing of the population. Some old enemies built new weapons and used them with devastating consequences. Nuclear bombs were dropped with careless abandon. Whole countries were destroyed, and the deserts turned to huge glass plains due to the immense heat of the explosions.
No.
What?
To quote my
So
to quote
the
one of my
fact that
favorite Primarchs, no.
I like the fact nuclear bombs are dropping on those carousel band. I like to think it's just some Ruski just sitting at that missile command in the Kremlin. He's like, "Oh, I don't care. I'm just going to randomly launch a missile, and I'm going to nuke hell. I'm going to nuke. Oh God, I'm going to nuke
Washington.
Brussels or something like that."
Do you think he's also?
I'm going to nuke some podunk city in Europe. I'm gonna nuke
Do you think?
Dusseldorf.
Do you think that Rusty's also drinking Samuel Adams Summer Ale? I wonder if he likes it.
No, he was huffing paint thinner.
He was probably, it was his last day. He was huffing paint, drinking a lot of vodka, and he had a Tokarov under the desk that he was ready just to end his life.
How incompetent are these pre-fall governments? Like, this is this is literally stupid evil tier. Okay, we gotta go fight the terrorists using the tax funds from our population, but our population at home is dying off, so let's just ignore that. Oh shit, why is everything on fire?
I'm just now envisioning in this timeline every joke about George W. Bush was true, where he's a legitimate monkey man in terms of intelligence, and Dick Cheney literally used babies. He strangled babies to gain immortality, and together you combine stupid with evil, and you get this. Because this was written during Bush's term in office.
I want to pet a doggy right now. I want like a cute dog, like a Shiba Inu, that Jap dog. I just want to pet one right now.
I'm gonna have to wait a couple hours before I can pet the 3 doggos I got, which is unfortunate.
Just bring like, how about like Adam? Can you just fly out here to my place and just have like your dog fill in my role? Your dog fill in my role. I'm sure you can give more insightful
I
comments.
am
I'm
not
sure you can write a better book.
traumatizing my dogs because only one of them likes to travel. Actually, 2
I
of
think
them do.
you know what? You can probably get like a dog to write a better book. Be a bark bark. It involve balls, like a ball game. Sure, that would be fun.
I know for a fact that cats write better than this because, hey, I've seen a cat write. You get
In
things
fact,
like,
we've
which
in
is more
fact we've seen
interesting.
in fact we've seen them dance before too. This is a plug for the new Cats movie. Rated PG, y'all.
I'm just,
Adam, insert a clip of the new Cats movie for all
oh,
the wonderful viewers.
Witness it. Do you like it?
Oh my god.
I'm gonna start out reading with this delightful edge quote up here. I am not incapable of compassion, but do not expect it of me, for I am a creature much more enamored with gentle cruelty. Tristan.
You forgot.
Tristan. Yeah, that's the.
Randall. You forgot another quote too. I literally cannot stop stabbing babies, puppies, and kittens, and I also hate minorities too.
Who wrote that quote? Gog Van Dyer?
Oh God, that would be amazing.
I mean,
Alright.
Tristan is also a pretty evil name, at least because the person named Tristan would want to murder everything.
I've always kind of got white trash from Tristan. Like, Tristan is the guy in the trailer park who's always seen with Natty Bow in hand.
Or no, it's Bambi. Get it right, damn it.
Y'all don't know your trash beer. Y'all don't know your trash liquor. It's Pabst Blue
Yep.
Ribbon, and you know it.
Pabst Blue Ribbon is in a weird state to where it's both white trash and hipster at the same time. I don't know how the fuck it's possible, but it's
Because it's that bad.
Guys, we need to know how what the rise of the Wraeththu is like. Get
Yes,
to it,
I'm on
someone.
it. Rise of the Wraeththu. It was, at this point, in my opinion, that the planet started to fight back.
Just like in the acclaimed Will Smith movie After Earth.
Or alternatively, the prestigious plot of Final Fantasy VII with its weapons program.
Wait, Sephiroth kind of looks like Wraeththu.
Well, I
Oh God,
mean, the weapons in
That's
Final
what.
Fantasy VII were the planet going, no, you're not killing me today. Here's this monster to throw at you.
it's Captain Planet. The planet's gonna awaken Gaia and summon a blue guy.
They're gonna summon werewolves to kill you.
That would be a much better book, but sadly, we're not reading that.
It's called Werewolf the Apocalypse.
I
Sure.
have a different opinion than Biggie does on it, but I still see its appeal.
Of huge earthquakes devastated all but the strongest buildings in many area, and tidal waves crashed against most of the coastal regions of the world. Simultaneously, long dormant volcanoes erupted into the night sky, destroying all in their wake. Okay. Even these events did not stop the war. The government blamed each other for the natural disasters, and panic broke out worldwide. Yes, yeah. Venezuela's just screaming about how the Americans set off the volcano.
Dude, this is like the plot to Armored Core. It's like the world's all fucked up, but they're still fighting in giant mechs, dude. This would make a great setting for giant mechs, which is like fucking natural disaster. Your fucking Yellowstone exploded, and they're all fighting in mechs in Yellowstone. That'd be so fucking
Actually, that
cool.
would be cool because they'd
Yeah.
need like I wouldn't say full on like massive mechs, but like 10-foot tall robot suits. And they need it because the atmosphere is poisonous in like half of the United States, and it's just warlord governors and tribals just all out trying to basically rule over the remains of America, or as they call it,
So,
Neo America.
so already you have a better plot than Wraeththu. Uh, Continuing, we should have known by then that our days were numbered. While all this was happening, we barely took notice of the small groups of young men who had started to wander the streets in the slums of the northern cities late at night.
What is this? What
Hobos.
the fuck is this? Malamute? What the fuck is this? Malamute or some shit like that? Is this?
It's Hobo Quest.
Murder hobos.
Most of us who were rich enough to afford the privilege now lived in Citadel community. So this is basically Brazil.
No,
They have those.
it's the setting for 2000 AD. These are the mega cities.
Oh my god!
You can totally do like a Judge Dredd style shit with this.
I am log.
Protected from what went beyond our high, impenetrable walls. The feral gangs spent their time fighting and drinking. Okay, so this is basically Mad Max 1 here. World is fucked, civilization hasn't collapsed yet, but the biker gangs are on the
A
rise.
mix of
Well,
Mad
even in
Max
Mad,
and Judge Dredd. The only thing they're missing are the judges.
well, even in Mad Max, society wasn't fucked like in the first movie. I mean, it was kind of shitty, but it wasn't that bad.
It was rapidly falling apart, and you don't see a form of government or things getting better until Beyond Thunderdome.
Yeah.
They looted every building they could find a way into and killed those who dared to challenge them. The police would not go near certain areas of the cities and left the kids, whose territories were clearly marked by their gang logos, to run riot.
This
Okay,
is
so
Is this
this
sounding
is
like Brazil.
this
No, you were
London?
right.
this is just Camden.
This is just Brazil. You were right the first time. Sorry about that.
If you did not live in a citadel and a gang logo appeared in your neighborhood, you knew that it was time to pack up and move out. Quickly. Emphasis. These grew more and more violent. Some people moved away to the countryside or into the secure compounds that were set up for the less privileged, run by the police and local military. The gangs of what we perceive to be wild kids expanded at an alarming rate.
Notice that the
People
only reason that they were able to get this far is because the police and army haven't bothered to just suppress the riots like they should have fucking done.
they'll burn themselves out. We gotta go nuke Iran for like the third time.
But
Oh,
is there
what?
even anyone alive there? We should totally be nuking Afghanistan. I think we only did that once.
Oh no, a compromise. We're gonna nuke Kuwait.
I
Why?
love
So do you
it.
think? So do you think like if like 1 billion of the world's population is dead, you can make that you can make like new computers again? Because like the asshole hacker known as Fortran's probably dead at this point. Because
Oh, he
hackers are
probably
lose.
died in like the fourth week. He's like a 400-pound guy living in his mom's basement. Like, oh shit, did everybody leave? Could somebody get me 10 days?
You have to love the fact
Anyone?
he starves to death. You have to love though that even with their bullshit powers and I'm putting in so many quotes, enhanced biology, which makes them piss and shit everywhere if you follow the actual laws of biology. Not laws, but basic guidelines for how their metabolism's that fucking high. Notice that it also requires everyone to literally be stupid and not gun them down. It takes passivity from our antagonists for them to win. This is as badly written as The Last Jedi.
When you only win because your antagonists are so bad shit incompetent, they would have lost anyway.
Like, to give you an idea, the opening of The Last Jedi should have just been the Dreadnought shoots the cruiser and they're all dead.
Bye.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun.
Both started to notice that young men and boys had begun to disappear from their homes. The word Wraeththu was first heard, and then it was whispered everywhere.
In the form of
Curfews.
strokes, I imagine.
Wraeththu!
Who is the race? Who is Wraeththu?
I smell purple!
I'm Pancake! And just drop dead because your fucking heart stops.
I am the Wraeththu.
Strokes out and dies.
Curfews were imposed, but few people dared to leave their homes at night after
Wait, hold on.
nightfall. In any
Hold on,
case,
hold up. We forgot to read a quote from Donatello with the Ninja Turtles. Shadow in the heart and shadows in the mind. What the fuck? Every heart? Every heart? What?
Oh, you finally found the stupid gender pronoun that they're using, and will force on us everywhere.
So,
Oh, fuck,
just for our viewers to know, Biggie was a brony once, and now he's finding out what it's like to be on the receiving end of every pony.
Even then, I use that ironically. Fuck.
Yeah, but now you're getting the receiving end on why everyone wanted to fucking crucify you back in 2013.
Hey, every pony, don't you want to clop? Every heart has them, banish them from your thoughts, for they are just that shadows. Divine will live in every heart. Shine with that light, and that shadow will find no purchase.
It sounds like anime intro lyrics.
That's because the person reading them is completely fucking smashed, and this is written by a person who's mentally 15.
Okay, since Biggie, you're a big Gundam spurg. What Gundam universe is this closely emulating? Where
it's like it's a war gone hot where they just start chucking shit at the earth. It just keeps throwing in space colonies until there's.
You're not wrong. Gundam X or Turn A Gundam would have also been appropriate.
However, this is not. Turn X was at least cool because it at least had hope in humanity. Where it's like, oh hey, some guys are cool. Leeson sucks dick.
Good point. This is X Gundam.
Well, no, just like I'm saying, like at least X Gundam said, like, hey, humanity's not that bad. I mean, we have lives. We're not horrible assholes, all of us. This is just saying, hey, you need to be a transsexual rapist
with acidic jizz, and you sweat, shit, and piss everywhere.
Now then, have I got a deal for you? Unknown Ubi one who?
Ugandan. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know the way.
All right. So as time went on, hardly any young men were left in the communities. Oh, you mean the you mean the segment of the population that you need to recruit for military service?
And to propagate the next fucking generation?
It was as if they had somehow been spirited away. Some of us called for action, for more thorough investigation, but the government took little notice. They still had wars to plan in country. Commentary! Do you get this commentary? Are you plebeians getting it?
I don't know what the social commentary is you speak of. I don't know what's happening.
This
Oh dear
is this commentary is entirely the reason why you don't do drugs.
Guys, I just realized something. The air conditioning in my parents' place are off. No wonder I'm sweating like a hog.
So that's why you're turning crazy. Heat stroke and drunk.
Oh my god.
Damage could a bunch
I
of
better drink.
kids really
I better
do?
drink. I better drink some more beer to alleviate this.
So don't worry, people. This will not become a snuff film because the moment Biggie drops dead, I will cut out that part.
You're gonna exploit my death on camera for more views, aren't you? You cunt.
Yeah, we're
That
gonna
we
pull a
will.
Logan Paul.
What do you think I am, pig roach? No.
You're gonna fly all the way out here into my shit hovel, and you're gonna film my dead body too.
No, the only thing I would do is I would pull a Rich Evans style funeral dance at your fucking grave.
You're gonna take a shit on my corpse, you asshole.
I'll just walk around with this playing in the background wearing a Pac-Man shirt.
Uh,
Let's see. I remember the day vividly. I remember the day vivid. Shouldn't that be? I vividly remember the day.
Yeah, a sane writer would describe it that way, but this
Yeah,
person didn't read his work again.
Carmine. Carmine.
Carmine the Bowler.
The city of my birth fell to the Wraeththu. It all happened so quickly. We were used to power outages by then. At first, on that fateful day, the internet went
Oh
down.
no.
No porn.
no!
Later, the electricity went off throughout the city. No AC.
They cut off
It
the
never
power.
came.
What do you mean they cut off the power? You're animals, man.
It never came back on again. That night, the barricades around the compounds began to fall. The Wraeththu gangs broke through and killed everyone they could reach in a savage, brutal, and bloody attack.
Well,
I
Adam,
No
I
was
want to
raisin.
stop you. The reason why the internet and the electricity went off is because just like the vermin they are, they chew through the cables like rats.
I left on the last bus to ever depart Carbine City. I remember the panic, the strange sound in the air, the cries of beasts, the stink of smoke and blood, the darkness that covered the sky, shot with flames. And it was nothing compared to the darkness within my soul.
This person's never had to experience a hardship like a riot, and you can feel it.
Okay, I'm just gonna say this right here, right fucking now. Who am I supposed to be rooting for here again?
No one.
Because like, I just who wants to play these assholes again? They sound like 40k mutants for God's sakes.
I'm honestly
Why
rooting
is-
for Thanos. I want him to snap them out of reality.
This is a fucking reality that needs to be snapped out of existence. No, I mean, no. Thanos would be wrong because he needs to snap all of it out, not just half.
Well, yeah, he has to. He has to exterminate half the life in the galaxy. He just chooses to exterminate all the life on Earth because there's no way he can make it perfectly balanced as it should be.
Thanos did nothing wrong. Anyway, now I know that Wraeththu are much more than just street gangs. But then I was still too blind to see the truth. I went south, the same direction in which many other people were heading. I found sanctuary in Sans Mercy. Okay.
Oh God, I just realized the pun behind that name.
What?
It's a double
Explain
pun. It's one example, one take of it is without mercy. The other one is no thank you.
What? Oh God.
You get it?
Oh.
Sans, without, merci, thank you, or if you say it in the English way, mercy.
I thought it was like some Undertale reference, and this book was trying to catch up on being hip with all the.
Well, Ala Blaster, we'll have you now entering the studio right now with Sans from Undertale.
Immediate restraining
that's
order.
just a mirage. That's just a mirage. My heat stroke's acting up again.
Don't worry, I'll probably stroke out because of my keto diet soon, and type 13 diabetes.
After do you want me to read? I want to read more. I need to learn more about this.
It's been a while since I've read.
Turn.
So the downfall of humankind. After a triumphant and very bloody bombing campaign in some country I can't quite remember the name of, the government finally took notice of what was happening on the city street.
Oh,
Oh no,
oh,
we nuked Kosovo. We
finally.
nuked Kosovo. Oh no, there's rioting hooligans in the street.
Oh no, we nuked the Turks and Caicos.
Oh God,
Now
the
where we
The
go for a
Turks and
Sandals
Caicos is a
resort.
good one.
Miami's fallen into the ocean. I guess now it's time to do something.
Now what will we
Remember,
do for beach resorts?
no, remember, all the coastal cities have been wiped out by tsunamis at this point, and
Oh
the
shit.
government is just noticing.
Oh shit, Sacramento's fallen to hooligans while we were nuking Bhutan.
I mean, doesn't Sacramento usually fall to hooligan? No, wait, that's
No,
San. That's
if you try Antifa shit in Sacramento, you're getting your ass destroyed by the cops.
Do you think? Do you think like the Swiss survived because those pricks always seem to get out of everything?
No, that's actually the country they nuked that they don't remember.
Oh, they nuked Switzerland.
Those fuckers
Oh.
are up to something. Everybody's in the militia. They have nuclear fallout shelters everywhere. We gotta nuke them first.
Okay, but my question is, what about the people's? What about the Republic of the Chosen People? Did Israel survive?
No, the Palestinians finally rose up and got their revenge.
No, the rat people finally rose up and ate them all before being nuked and forming the desert of glass.
Oh God.
So anyway, at
So-
first they announced that Wraeththu street gangs were infected with some type of disease, and they are space AIDS. And we were told a vaccine was being developed to combat it. As far as I'm aware, that vaccine never appeared, though I did hear a rumor that it was tested on a large group of people and nearly all of them died from its effects. They died of AIDS, blood, and or jizz. We only got to hear things because the city officials still maintain tenuous contact with other communities through a radio link. Oh no, we escaped ham radio only to run into ham radio again.
You know, even then, I can see a better. I see a better system for this. It's like you play as like a human from like a shitwad settlement, and you're trying to survive, but out there you got a bunch of fucking monsters out there. I think I would much rather play that game. That sounds
Honestly,
fun.
a Judge Dredd inspired setting where you have to either live in the shithole of the megacities or out in the wastes would be very fun.
That would be nice. This isn't nice though. We get to play as
Or you could play a crusader, or you could play as a crusader, and your idea is to retake the Holy Land, which is basically all of human land.
No, you play as a Thunder Warrior and you get to purge the heretics.
That could be cool. That might be a Death Watch idea where you're all Thunder Warriors during the Great Crusade to reunite Terra.
That'd be nice. I like nice.
We had TV stations, but they were all local. A couple of years later, the battles for the city of Duwamish.
that sounds like a dwarven stronghold they just took.
No, not even
A
dwarves would name it
lovely-
that way.
What a lovely Duwamish.
No, wait. This is what happens. This has happened to the Duluth after the Amish had risen up and taken over.
Do you think it's the result of someone getting punched so hard in their face that their teeth began falling back their throat and that was their attempt to prevent choking to death on their own teeth? The news came through that human military forces had been defeated. How? With devastating casualties.
Ow.
The terrible truth about Wraeththu was finally revealed. They are no longer human. They cannot be. They can kill with their voices. Oh God, I think we were right.
No.
They're Slaneshi Noise Marines.
Oh God, no, they're Dovahkiin.
They're Dovahkiin.
Yes.
No, the Dovahkiin's a hero. He doesn't do gay shit.
Oh, he can be a pretty big douche if you choose to take him that way.
Well, you know what? Mike's a hero, and he was a cool guy. He saved children.
They are
Doesn't afraid of
impervious to
anything.
pain. So, actually, let me biology fact. Pain tolerance is good, but having no pain receptors at all is really fucking bad for an organism. If you're wondering why, the reason we feel pain is it allows us to actually protect our body system and know when things are actually wrong. Like if you feel pain in your guts, that means you're sick and you know not to eat whatever the fuck you just ate. If your arm is broken, you know you don't make it worse by using it.
Also, if you get stabbed, you know that, oh shit, I need to go get this I need to take care of this quickly before I bleed out or have my guts fall out in the
You notice injuries. Since they don't notice injuries, that's actually an evolutionary disadvantage. Nice job, Ryder. Nice fucking job. That's like the 5th one I think I've noticed all the whole
I
thing.
have I have autism, and sometimes I have dull pain, and sometimes it can be a bit of a struggle to actually do something about pain. Or whenever I notice, it's oh shit. Whenever I notice, it's like oh fuck, I gotta go get taken care of this or go to the hospital.
There's a
Oh,
reason why
fuck.
if you're diabetic, you will have to regularly check your feet because of the nerve killing sensations you have where you don't notice it. Because if you don't have pain tolerance, you might not be able to notice if your feet are slowly rotting away. Just ask movie Bob Chipman. So they're not human, impervious to pain. They are so swift and strong. Some say they're demons or avenging angels that have come to destroy humankind. They steal boys, do something to them to alter their being. Oh God, that's very unfortunate analogy.
Is this the Catholic Church?
I think this person's going to be arrested for the Epstein case.
Oh no! Oh god, this is Lolita line.
Yeah, this is getting more unfortunate the more I read. But what exactly are they? Where did they come from? In truth, all we can be certain of is they intend to take over this world as fucking orc-style mobsters. Wherever they were, they are not human as we are, and they aren't going to go away. When and the other great northern cities fell, most of us blamed the government, or what was left of it, wherever it hit, save from the devastation.
God damn you, Elizabeth Warren! Why didn't you do anything?
This never would have happened if we elected Sanders.
It was her turn, damn it! It was her turn.
I apologize in advance, viewers, for this episode not aging well at all, but this is what happens when you're under the influence of booze. It's glorious.
Oh my god. Guys, I made a dark, disturbing revelation about Wraeththu. If you want me to share it afterwards or do it now.
Either or, I don't care.
It turns out Wraeththu is actually based off an 80s book.
Yeah,
Oh, we already know that.
Yeah.
Don't say!
Oh, fuck. My booze.
Good job. Good job.
GG.
Don't mess with Mr. Booze.
The country was falling apart, and we had virtually lost all contact with the rest of the world as other countries dealt with their own internal problems, which they should have done like a million years ago, but okay. Better late than never. The Far East had closed its borders years ago to stop the spread of disease, and no one had heard from the Australia regions for a long time.
Australia's just gone.
For a second there, I thought Adopian. For a second there, I'm playing so much CK2. I thought it said the anti-pope areas. I like to think the idea that an anti-pope has risen in all of this. That'd be kind of
Antipodian anti-pope.
I love the. Oh God, I'm just now envisioning Steve Irwin with a Pope hat.
Oh yes, he would still be alive. Oh God, he's become basically the anti-pope is basically. Oh wait, he's a druid.
Steve Irwin with a Pope hat riding a giant crocodile.
Oh wait, he talks. He has druidic power, so he talks to all the Australians and wildlife to go murder all the Wraeththu.
He captures Wraeththu and demonstrates like, crikey, this is another example of a right fine not crotolid. I'm getting text to speech in my brain. Fuck me. But basically, he's like, look at the poisonous jizz that they got and the blood. You don't want to let them spit on you because they're more toxic than the most dangerous things in the world. I can't do Australian accents. Let's stop right here now before it gets worse.
Don't mess with Mr. Booze. Don't mess with the OOZ.
I think we're all drunk. Amazing.
I am not drunk because I cannot have alcohol in the house, so I'm the only one that's sober.
There we
You
go.
are our designated driver.
Fuck you all.
Don't worry. I only had the one, so I'm not too fucked up. I'm not thinking clearly, but I'm not that fucked up.
How the fuck do you sympathize with these rapists?
I don't know.
How do you sympathize with them? Who thought this was a good idea?
I'm so happy. I'm so happy I'm recording
terrible,
If you mess with Mr. Boo.
Yeah, no, and then,
Before
like-
we get sidetracked, where were we? I think we're at the
Megalithica. That's where
okay
we
in
left off.
Megalithica. In Megalithica, as Wraeththu renamed our country, the northern cities fell one by one to our inhuman adversaries, because apparently guns don't fucking work in this setting. And they were heading south. The remnants of the military forces poured all what was left of their resource into stopping them. Maybe if you didn't waste them years ago, that would have fucking worked. The government made grand announcements about our coming victory, but months went by and the chaos in the north simply
Coming.
grew and grew. Ugandan I am, fire, pure fire. My enemies from when I was human are nothing. Destroying them is only an automatic reflex. Burn and flay! Just let them scream in helpless agony. What am I
Are
fucking
we sure that
reading?
really isn't?
Is that a fucking Dark Eldar Reaver that I just fucking read?
It is
Burn and
20K
flay.
bleeding in!
Burn it. Rip and tear. Burn and flay.
Where's my food?
We got some fucking Dark Eldar in this house. We got fucking. Where's your shard rifles, you bastards?
Honestly, I'm wondering where the penetrators are.
Nah, nah,
Wait,
nah.
what page are we on?
Page 53. We're restarting at
53.
Megalithica because fuck it. This is turning into
My-
a trash fire, but it's good.
My beer's too goddamn lukewarm. Fix this. Ice.
No.
So started the downfall of humankind, or
In Megalithica, as the Wraeththu, that's where we are. So in Megalithica, as Wraeththu renamed our country. So the Wraeththu fucking renamed them.
What? They just not okay with it?
Apparently.
What type
Oh,
of dicktard came up with renaming the U.S. to that?
Was
I
there,
guess
like,
I
some
guess
bit-
I
no,
guess
no,
when
no.
I guess it was I guess you by that point people didn't want to mess with the weird rapey hermaphrodites.
They were still fighting with them at this point, and apparently everybody. I'm just wondering how they got that name. Was there like some sort of big rape bandit council where they all gathered together? All right, what are we gonna name this place now? It's ours.
I like that.
How about we call it like a fuckland or
I
something?
love it. The rate band count. I love it. The rate band count.
I'm just. What the fuck? Why would you name it Big Rock?
I don't
Well, that's
Be
know.
what
like
the Earth
the-
is. It's a big rock where you get to live.
It was like the best option they could come up with.
Oh wait,
Like-
wait a minute! No, don't forget, guys. Don't forget the Wraeththu. Aren't they supposed to technically be like the teenagers and shit? So like they're just teenagers and shit. So wouldn't it make sense that they come up that they don't have very original ideas in their heads?
Oh yeah, I forgot their IQ drops by 30 and they become shrew people.
But if they were teenagers, I think they would have just named it to like the United States of Danktopia or something stupid like
Did
that.
you say dank?
At
Yeah,
this
but
point,
this
they
isn't
would.
modern. But this isn't modern teens. Remember, this wasn't written by a teen.
True,
Right,
it is
so
written by a
my-
30-year-old man who's emotionally 15.
My Chemical Romance the Nation.
Brilliant.
I think
what
they
they
wanted to
name it
avoid being
to.
sued by someone respectable.
So the northern cities fell one by one to our inhuman adversaries, and they were heading south. The remnants of the military forces poured all of what was left of their resources into stopping them. The government made grand announcements about our coming victory, but months went by, and the chaos in the north simply grew and grew. How hard is it to just beat up a bunch of fucking orc mobsters that are like looking like the Crow rejects?
I mean, they
Remember-
were bombing
remember,
like countries every
Nikki.
day. Don't you have a few nukes you could use left?
Remember, this is the country that took like years to realize that their own cities were on fire.
It's true, but still.
Like they're just, I think they're just like pushing people onto the front line with like sticks instead of guns.
Oh,
All
you mean
right,
like
just
shovel
point your
heads.
guns and shoot. I
Oh
can't
my
shoot
God.
it. Shut up.
You mean like shovel heads?
At this
Okay.
point, I think shovelheads in the middle of a frenzy would be more intelligent than the governments of the world at this time. The remaining human population fled further south and into the deep south. Oh no, they crossed the Mason-Dixon line.
Oh no.
In an attempt to escape the Wraeththu scourge. At times, people even had to run from their friends and family who had somehow been transformed into these ungodly creatures. Don't you like how Wraeththu just murder everyone, even family and friends that they knew?
Or
Honey,
they rape. Or rape.
I'm
Don't forget rape.
home.
They're so overcome by lust, including bloodlust.
Oh no, these are just turning into Dark Eldar in my mind. Many human groups who met on the road dug in and formed small farms and encampments that could be easily defended. Some of these did indeed thrive, possibly because the Wraeththu gangs were concentrating on the suburbs and the centers of the once great cities. Because, how we don't want to go without the luxuries of a Starbucks.
They're too busy looting out the Best Buy.
And shitting and pissing everywhere like shrews.
Turn on fun, Best Buy.
Okay. Quote, Uganda I am. Fire. Pure fire. My enemies from when I was human are nothing. Destroying them is only an automatic reflex. Burn and flay! Let them just scream in helpless agony.
Are they basically saying rip and tear now?
Yes.
Okay, can I do the next quote when it comes up?
Fuck yeah, and actually, I've been reading enough. I want someone to take over before I fall out of this fucking chair.
People wanted to believe that they would be safe in the hills around the deserts. Life continued at a slower pace, free from the grip of modern technology.
Technology
And most
bad.
people, though this is on a PDF, which can only be accessed by technology.
I could survive in the wild totally if you threw me out there. I'm a nature warrior of nature, and then he fucking starves to death like 3 days later in a state park.
I don't even think it's possible to.
He would find a fucking way.
In most people's hearts lurked the hope that Wraeththu would not survive for long or spread much further. Meanwhile, here in the south, many of the more inaccessible cities managed to keep going, even though they were isolated. Wraeththu only ventured this far in raiding parties or to gain new recruits. I just love how they're being described more as like orcs than they are as, an actual civilization.
They're basically fucking chaos marauders right now.
You know what's even better? Notice that humanity, the inferior wasteland ghouls, are fucking reduced to living in the deep south. Commentary!
How do you like that?
Seeing what happened to our northern counterparts, we began to make ready for the inevitable onslaught. Stories spread about strange mutations. Some claimed the Wraeththu might even be aliens, while others convinced they were vampires or werewolves. All I knew is they were evil spawn from the worst of humankind, created from an unknown substance to wipe humanity from the planet.
Oh, there's a horrible quote.
I want to say this.
I will take you and show you sensual pleasures beyond what your human mind can comprehend.
I have such sights to show you.
Oh my god. Is it their time now?
So I just realized these aren't Dark Elder, these are Slaneshi Chaos Cultists.
I was thinking Cenobites with that fucking quote.
Yes.
Yeah.
Don't breathe. Either that or these are fucking Dark Eldar. These are Dark fucking Eldar. Even the Dark fucking Eldars think they'd be too fucking depraved.
At this point, I just want to kink shame them to their own dimension again.
I also like how, in just comparison to the brutish humans, even the people of the 600s were better, were less savage than these people. Because at least they moved in and they sort of just kind of went back to normal. They didn't
The barbarians at least tried to, you know what? Oh, we're taking over. We're taking over now. We're going to try to run the administration now. Okay, is it their time now? No. The answer to this question has to be no. I'm not going to say yes. Fuck you, book. All that's left of humanity has scattered to the four winds. Some have fallen at the feet of the creatures have gone over to their side. Why? Many have died at their hands. Fuck you, book. Those who survive inhabit isolated mountainous areas in the far north of the country, like Canada, and a few towns and cities off the beaten track and others. We can live in hope that our time will come again, or that human society thrives in countries and other side of the world, like Argentina, Pinochet, or Chile, where Pinochet will lead us into glory and throw these degenerates from helicopters.
You know, this
Who would've-
world would be a great setting for like the Great Crusade era, where you're just humans surviving against these xenos that are essentially mutating and forcibly creating hybrids that are destroying the world before the Space Marines from whatever legion you want comes to save them.
Who would have thought that in a matter of a few decades, the human race could be almost replaced by another species? Well, I haven't because it's fucking retarded. We do not know where the Wraeththu came from or how they came to be, but they are fast and strong, unbelievably vicious and cruel.
But a bullet should put
Perhaps,
them down like any other animal.
perhaps in their savagery relies on their weakness. They have no fucking they're not fucking adaptable whatsoever. They're
Pain intolerance, which is a negative weakness. The fact that their metabolism's so high probably means they need to eat regularly or starve to death. And also, the immortal words of a great hunter, if it bleeds, we can kill it.
yeah. Also, it doesn't sound like they use guns all that much. So a focus fire, hell, even if you have to break open armories that have M1 Garens, have at it. Fuck.
Like, just do like what the Imperial Guard does. You focus, you use your las guns in mass.
They are in it. They're inexorable, but perhaps mindless. Of course they are. They have little organization. Well, fuckers. If they're a bunch of unruly mass hordes, they're disorganized. Anyone even slight organization is going to ruffle stomp these assholes. We must keep to ourselves safe from the wicked, from their wicked ways, and wait for the day when we can build a force strong enough to take back our world from our hands. We have to believe it. Humanity will rule again. Honestly,
Yeah.
With that, I mean, if this was about like retaking the planet from a bunch of like crazy,
It's not. It's about, but it's not. It's about raping the corpse.
Also, on top of that, from what I understand in the books, they clearly failed and died out.
Well, can someone ask us? Can someone answer this important question? What happened to all the men? What every feminist has had.
Also, notice the Wraeththu only abduct young teenage men.
And women.
Oh.
No, they don't mention women ever.
Really?
I have not seen
Yeah.
women mentioned at all whatsoever. Makes you think, doesn't it?
No, they pretty much explicitly say, woman can't be accepted insulted because
I realize it's
bullshit
cuties and no
reasons.
girls around.
At least when the Emperor made the fucking Space Marines, it was because he was rushing.
And for even more
Right.
cynical reason, it's because Games Workshop is cheap and they don't want to make female models.
Well, they already did
This-
in the form of the Sisters of Battle, but don't let normal
And
people tell
let's
you
go,
that.
but Wraeththu doesn't have that excuse because this isn't a miniatures game. They could just say yes.
Don't spray it. Bye bye, man.
I mean, isn't this all about inclusivity?
Why don't they just get the Bye Bye Man to attack the Wraeththu? He could have killed them.
Because nobody's seen that movie.
Only stupid 14-year-old children who scream at the theater and look at their phones and scream the entire time and talk and don't fucking pay attention to the movie watch the Bye Bye Man.
Yeah,
The
well, no, just
biggie.
think about it. Like, if the Wraeththu say, "Hey, the Bye Bye Man," then the Bye Bye Man comes out with like his meatloaf dog, and they kill the Wraeththu. You did
Biggie.
it. We solved the Wraeththu, guys.
Yeah, I think you're too drunk to be on here.
What the fuck are you talking about, Biggie?
This is
Well, we gotta
drunkenly dangerous thoughts and dangerously drunk thinking.
I haven't even finished my beer yet. This is just one.
We're fucked. Anyway, let's at least try to finish this section before we before 3 of us die of alcohol poisoning and heat stroke.
Oh, fuck. Totally.
Who wants to talk about how the Wraeththu view humanity or not?
I do. The world was truly fucked. Even before the Wraeththu arose, the slums of California city, diseases were rife through the cities. Water supplies have been poisoned by some bizarre enzymes that I know what that word means. That age up, pump the earth by word discovered too late.
Really,
Carmen
Alex
San Diego.
Jones.
Carmen Sandiego was the birthplace of the Wraeththu, but most of them deserted the place pretty quickly. Only once they found strength in numbers did they return. It took many days travel for Hara to arrive back in Carmen Sandiego. It was still in a completely bad state. In fact, far worse than what it was when the Wraeththu had left
Who'd
it.
have thought that if you made a town be completely uninhabited, it would fall apart due to nature reclaiming it?
People were afraid to leave their homes. Industry was on the verge of it won't collapse. How the fuck is it on the verge?
Didn't they
Raiders came
describe
in.
how they were all fucking exterminated?
What do you mean the verge of collapse?
It collapsed. You
No.
murdered everyone in there. You fucking idiots.
No. There's like a single Beanie Baby factory still working.
That's an insult.
like
No,
one
that's an
guy
insult to
managing
Beanie
it.
Babies. This is the last place that produces VCR tapes. They stopped making those, by the way, a few years ago.
Oh no.
And many streets lay empty. You can almost hear the city screaming to have life return to it. The silence was like velvet, soft, dark, and also alluring. Maybe it was the silence the human feared, or was it something else? They never saw it coming, just a bunch of kids. That's all they were. Nothing but street gangs running wild. How very, very wrong they were. I
Had
was
to
wrong
exploit
too,
the
but
fact that the army and police couldn't be fucked to do their goddamn jobs.
I was wrong too. I was only human then. All I saw was freedom and a way to escape from my harsh life. Oh,
His parents were.
oh
He's
no.
about. All right, you didn't take out the trash. You're grounded.
Yeah, these are all
Man,
entitled
I
man
hate my
children.
life.
I wanted to be Wraeththu so much. I hunted them out and found them to be
How
with
do you
little
know
faces,
this?
dirty faces and wild eyes, so
Because
beautiful.
they
and
found it
big.
on the internet,
Oh
of
dear
course.
God.
What
But
you
the
think?
internet exploded!
Greg, here's a quote you can read. I think you'd like it. I think you can do something with it.
Ah, that smell. It has a classic vintage.
No, that's the smell of
horrible.
Biggie's vomit.
After
Halibus
inception, I
mint.
was in agony
What
for a
what is
whole
this
week.
reference? What are these things they're referencing? The Ulagana?
I call them the Ugandans. I think they're a fucking tribe that we'll learn about later.
After inception, I was in agony for a whole. Oh dear God, a whole week. Fuck it, it felt up my insides were turning inside out.
Because your body dissolved from space AIDS!
Little did I realize they actually were. I was eventually woken by the smell and sound of rain on the hot tarmac.
They left you on the hot
I
road
was
to
lying in
die.
my own filth. High up on a rooftop with a hair long, black hair and bright green eyes, was laughing manically over my head. He smiled at me and told me he was going to make me feel whole.
Oh
That night he
no!
opened up a part of me I never had before. Oh God!
God.
What?
So, I just realized what it reminded me of with the "make me whole" again. It's the fucking Dead Space quote with your crazy wife hallucination thoughts.
He got raped.
He,
How the fuck am I supposed to feel sympathy for rapists?
they
rape
left
children.
him. They left him dead on the fucking road, covered in
Covered
No,
in
not
his
on the
own
road. They
shit.
left him on the fucking roof. They left him on the rooftop of some building in the rain.
covered in his own waste, completely.
Rape!
I am reduced to no words because I can't think.
Well, I was gonna say you can't spell Wraeththu without rape, but unfortunately there is no P in Wraeththu.
You can't spell Pelkey without forcibly
Greg.
injecting poisonous acidic cum
Greg, what you
inside them.
do is you take the T in one of the Wraeththu and you take off the little tail thing and move up the little T thing, and then you can make a P.
You see, if you rearrange the words in Wraeththu, you get a new word that completely describes the mindset of this subhuman pile of garbage.
Rape!
No, Tishi, which is Chinese for disappointment in the cooking of the duck meat.
You're referencing Mr. Plinkett. You're unoriginal. Greg, we can't read. Read for us. Be my eyes and ears.
I can read. So if
I'll read. Do you want to read or should I read? Honestly,
you fucking read. I'm fucked up.
Hey, okay. For days after the inception, it felt like I was one with Carmine.
Ew.
It could have been my ears were more sensitive or some other after effect in the process. For a short while, I was sure I could hear the voice. Given enough time, I'll go back and investigate. But fuck that. I'm about to have some bloody good fun for now.
Why are they British
At
now?
first,
They're
only
war.
20 of us, but they quickly grew to 50. Then half the gang split away from us. Our leader and some other har got into a fight over some humans. I don't know what happened. I didn't really care. All I knew that we were, and now we were what, and now the others were Unia. Our leader told us we would show the world what it meant to be Wraeththu. That night, I killed 14 humans with my bare hands. I thought I would have hated the killing, but I changed more than I first thought. As the bounty count rose, I felt more and more exhilarated rather than feeling grief for those who died. I was truly a god. It was then
Our
our leader.
protagonists, everyone!
This is literal
Oh,
serial
really
killer
don't-
shit.
Here's the quote. I really don't want to take Aurora in these ruins. So what'll be your place or mine?
They're fucking in the ruins of a dead human city. Amazing.
There's like
It was then our
literally
leader, Mantineker, decided we should move on. He sounded like some
Can
sort of
I-
evangelical preacher. Even back then, his strength and power to control a mob like us was unsurpassed. Should I bother with the lore?
I think we should at least. I don't know. Should we skip for copyright reason?
Who the fuck's gonna claim this? No, nobody, and everybody would be embarrassed to admit that they were Wraeththu. What are you talking about?
I'll read the stupid lore.
Yeah.
The man who made
Lord,
Wraeththu should be
that's
brutally
the man.
executed in the streets, killed, and he should be subjected to the Wraeththu.
He should be. They should commit Pelkey on him. You mean where he dies from the acidic hallucinogenic jizz?
Literally
Oh, dear
get
God.
goosh to get death.
Death by goosh goosh.
All right. I'll start reading, and I'm skipping over this stupid lore. Fuck this shit.
No, I need to know how the Wraeththu does rape. I need to know
Okay.
about their penis.
No. Actually, next page you see a completely different art style for no
Oh.
reason.
It suddenly turns into Breath of the Wild.
It's Link. It's Twink. I bet he takes it up the fucking ass. The guy looks like a fucking queer.
It looks like they can. It looks like what would happen if you spliced Link and Asuka from Evangelion together in the fly pod.
Adam, would you agree that this has anime influence? Look at that. That's so anime.
So they stole this from Tetsuya Nomura's original design for Titus from Final Fantasy X.
Yes.
And they're having him cross-dress in Eunice robes.
Those are robes?
Kind of.
It's like a robe kilt.
It's a utilikilt, one of those Scotaboo pieces of shit.
I was gonna say it kind of looks like from the ropes he's trying to accent tits that he doesn't have.
Oh god.
Why are you shaming him?
Do you like the fucking bootleg corset to actually give him a waist?
What about that
He looks
Fox
like a
Viking
loser.
design there? Or Celtic or whatever. So yeah, we have anime, we have Vikings, we have Celts. It's all
have
coming
rape.
together.
Don't forget rape. That's also important.
Rape is always present
most
in the world
important
of
thing,
Wraeththu.
Trap.
That's
No, it's not really a
Faggot.
trap when their penis comes out as a horrible flowered tentacle monstrosity. Well, actually, that is a trap, but it also.
This train. Mr. Adam, I want to get off this bus.
The ride won't end until I get out of my fucking chair.
okay.
Oh god.
I'm continue. It's key. I'm reading. All right. Due to tribal infighting, our tribe decided that it would be better to divide rather than fall. What?
So they are the punks.
What?
United,
That-
they stand. The punks. Divided, they fall.
Apparently.
That was a fucking made-for-TV Disney movie that, for some reason, I barely remember.
Did you know that Walter T. Disney? No, wait, there is no man named Walter T. Disney.
Walter T. Disney manages an Arby's in North Dakota.
It's Disney spelt with a Z in there.
Walter D. Disney, the owner of the most successful Bob's Burgers in all of North Dakota.
I'm sweating here. I'm sweating like a goddamn hog.
Right, yeah, one group was to stay, adopt a new name and tribal ideals. So, maybe only rape 90% of the people we come across, while the rest of us gathered what we could for the journey. As we prepared to leave Carmine, a small group of 5 decided they would remain there to spy on those who had chosen a different path.
Wait, aren't they supposed
How-
to be more intelligent, wise, and charismatic, and not schismatic, divided, evil people? Aren't they supposed to be better than humans? Why are they splitting up?
Because bullshit. We gathered what provisions we needed from the mall where we were staying and headed out south. They're literally just camping out in a hot topic.
Are you telling me that their superior genetics did not allow them to actually earn a goddamn thing themselves and they had to fucking steal it all?
No. The mall is still in operation. They're just running all the stores.
So superior, they had to steal from humans because they can't make a damn thing themselves.
And headed out south. We cruised on our bikes.
That we
taking
stole!
Bazinga!
the fuel and supplies that we stole wherever we got the opportunity. We followed the old Straight Devils route south of Carmine,
Where
traveling
are the
through
good
many
guys?
places that I only dreamed of visiting when I'd been human.
They're going to
Say-
Radiator Springs. It's old 66.
We're going to
Don't-
Gary, Indiana. And
Don't bring the cars into this. Don't bring cars into this.
Ka-chow!
Here's the
What
fucked
do you
up thing.
think-
Remember, this book encourages crossovers, so you can have Rape Goblins meet Lightning McQueen.
Do you think the Wraeththu? Do you think the Wraeththu could turn Lightning McQueen into a Wraeththu? Do you think they can rape a car?
Don't want to think
Oh,
about
no.
this, Mickey.
That is an
awesome
unanswered
there.
question for the cosmos.
What do you think? What do you think that Vicky?
What do
Pull,
you
everybody,
think
pull.
about that question?
Vicky, what do you think the exhaust pipe is for?
Can I talk? Poll for everyone, for
No.
anybody watching this. Could Wraeththu rape Lightning McQueen?
All
gonna
2 of
put a
our
poll
viewers,
up.
answer now!
I will also say that by the end of this dumpster fire of a series, I want to see the worst fan art possible.
We have no art fags watching us. What are you talking about?
Next one. Come on, Randall, read it. It's beautiful.
Oh,
Remember, these are supposed to be the superior future. Dude, I'll give you that a 3 for tonal balance and a 2 for smell. Talking like stoned retards.
oh! I thought you were
No,
talking
it's
about
the
being human was such a drag. It's been
Oh,
bred
no.
into us to conform to some greater good, and to fear what would happen if we didn't. Over the last 3 years,
Oh,
Yeah, dude, I hear
I'll
you
give
hear
that a
fear.
3 for tonal balance.
I hear fear. I also hear you destroyed civilization in less than a decade.
somehow, because everyone was too stupid nuking fucking Monaco. They nuked Monaco for some reason.
We spent the next year traveling along the old Straight Devils route, stopping for a few weeks and here and there to rape and burn and shit. There were plenty of parties. People are apparently still partying in this horrible Mad Max wasteland.
Remember, this guy feels alive murdering people and raping them. He is literally a Dark Eldar. They get gratification from slaughter.
Wait, where am I?
Such
What
a
page are we-
quality species that would not be rendered extinct within the next generation.
And lots of fighting. These are orcs. These are like Slanishi worshipping orcs.
Ain't no one's ever seen a pink orc before, and this is why.
Left many
I
of
just
the
want-
smaller villages in smoldering ruins before we rode off to the next stop on the map. So that yeah, this is like Mad Max 2 territory now.
No, it's not even.
As-
Mad Max 2 had more civilization than this.
It had like the oil rig and shit, but it was mostly just rape bandits.
I like the fact that Lord Humongous is probably the more civil. Lord Humongous is more fucking civilized and cognate than these assholes.
These guys are more like Wes, like batshit insane, just screaming, kill, kill.
I actually still think Wes was a more organized and cultured individual than these fucking shrew people.
I mean, he didn't shit and piss everywhere, so he had that going for
He
him.
also didn't have to eat 5 Big Macs a day to avoid starvation.
It's not. I don't have a problem. I can stop eating these. I can't stop eating the Big Macs or I'll die.
Stop mocking me! I have a glandular problem.
Get the tuna
Oh.
music.
Oh boy, we always left a few horror-shaped surprises at any town that did survive our onslaught. Nyuk, nyuk, nyuk.
So they left 1 or 2 of their horrible rape bandits there just to continue raping and slaughtering?
No,
Oh,
what
they rape people and then have like the baby rapist just kind of burst out of them chest bursters style.
No, I thought what they did was that they would take the bodies of the dead and make creative art pieces they put in the centerpiece of.
No, that's creation. So here's what I'm thinking. They like take the young boys and then they basically give them space AIDS. So you get to watch them die of dehydration in the sun as their flesh melts off.
Honestly, from what they've been playing, I kind of thought that they were just more or less just walking up to people with their bare hands and then just beating them and eating them and then just shitting out their corpses.
Seriously,
Pretty
these are
much.
our heroes, everyone.
Like
I'm
that,
gonna
that's
say
I,
this. So I'm gonna say it right here, right now. Okay, so like you got Wraeththu, and then you got a game of Black Crusade where you play literal goddamn abominations. What makes the Chaos Worshippers more lovable than these assholes?
Because
because they can be quirky.
on top
Also,
of
the
that,
fact is, it depends on what type of chaos. It depends on the type and your context of your chaos war.
So you know you're going into this being an evil asshole.
oh god, the mysterious space virus is causing I'm getting space AIDS of the intestines. Be right back.
Don't mess with Mr. Booze. Don't mess with Mr. Booze. Don't mess with Lee 000.
The attempt to assassinate me via space AIDS clearly fucking failed. So that's
And
good news.
unfortunately, I think they put something in my drinks to make me stupid.
Oh,
That's just you being stupid, Biggie. That's all.
So, calling it quits because of the potential for all of us getting heat stroke and alcohol poisoning?
yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see you next week, folks, and hopefully we won't be as completely trashed.
Bye.
I wish I could put 2 polls up, because I will include the Lightning McQueen poll, at least if I'm smart enough to remember. Because the other poll is this: should we do more most of us drunk recording?
Also, to quote the guy that was from the Robot Jocks, well, see you in
Next time,
Jumped out the
Piggy.
window to his death.